Hey, what's up? I got powered up, but now I'm trying to get it programmed because it doesn't have an on-screen display. It just has some LEDs. Select channels by simple short presses. Red LED 1. Light on stands for channel 1. Short press to change a channel sequentially. Channel 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Red LED 1. Flicker 1. Small light on. So LED 1 is not powered on. LED 2 band select. Okay. I wonder what band I have. I guess band. Is that labeled? It's really hard to tell. No, it's not labeled. It just says blue in the instructions. Trying to do this without having to refer to a video. So I like running on channel A8 usually. I don't know why, but I like running on A8. But I'm gonna see. All right, channel. Okay, solid on is channel 1. Just gonna leave it there for the sake of ease. Actually, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm gonna go to channel 8. I usually do band A, channel 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it should be on band 8 or channel 8. I want band A. Press button for 2 seconds. LED will flash. Then short presses to select bands. Okay. Oh, there we go. Band. I hope that's A. It's the first LED. Okay, press power select. Press button for 4 seconds. Red LED 2 flash. Constant for 25. Flicker for 200, 600, and 1000. $200. 6. Now we're on 1000. Okay. So now let's should be set this down here. Yeah, sucker's getting warm. To A1. I went to 8. Yeah, I went to 8. There we go. I'm on my channel. That is great. Nice and clear. Nice and strong. The and you can tell it's never been fired up before. This one's doing great. This R Charlian's VX30 600. Not bad. Little VTX for the price. It still works. But I was running further than when I switched that, when I took out my Wolf Whoop all-in-one camera and switched to this little tiny guy. It's this is the same exact camera that's in the all-in-one Wolf Whoop. This is actually the Wolf Whoop that I ordered. So my camera setup stayed the same, so that's all still familiar to me. This is pretty much the same thing, except for it's got a DVR, which we're going to test right now. So I don't know if you can see in there, but we got a good picture. I'll move it back and forth here. So we're connected. I don't know which way to. Son of a biscuit, that's hot. I think we're going to change that to 600. So power level. Put it on 600. Whew. The sucker's getting hot. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and of course, now it's got mega static. That ain't cool. Man, this thing's hot. All right. Put on the channel that has no more static. Or the power 1000. I wonder why that is. Man, this is so hot. I hope it doesn't melt my SD card. Gosh darn, that's hot. All right, it's in there. So to record, you just hit the button. Now it's recording. Quick test here. I really hope this works because I don't want to replace my GoPro again because this thing is just, it's toast. I did about 40 miles an hour straight into a pile of rocks. And it hasn't worked right ever since. Okay. Now this says it records for 5 minutes. And then it stops. So I'm wondering if it loops into another recording and just continues, or am I going to have to, gosh darn, that's hot. Am I going to have to hit record every single time? I'm probably going to have to hit record anyway because I'm restarting the unit with the battery. So there you go. That answers that. And if I'm going to be recording, I'll probably be hitting it pretty hard and shooting gaps. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just stop the recording. That's hot. That's hot. I gotta get my SD thing. I might have to try the different power settings on this. I mean, I can feel the heat coming off that thing. That's got to be sucking up a lot of amperage. Okay, I'm going to try to... I hope this doesn't mess up the stream. Plug this. An AVI file. Huh. Smart audio works. Huh. Not bad. Yeah. That's great. It works. Sounds pretty. Gold bot. Oh, nice. What, 2200, is it 2200 milliamp hour? I like flying the big batteries because, I don't know, I just like cruising sometimes. I know these things run hot, but that thing was really, really cooking. All right, let's see here. And that type of, man, that's got to have a huge 35C, using them for planes. Ah, nice. What type of planes do you fly? Switch that for sure. Man, that's terrible. Rudder trainers and delta wings. That's a little better on 600. Yeah, I wish, I don't know. I'll try my delta wings again here. Just got a bigger motor. 1047. Wow, holy, that's a huge prop. Spitfire Racer. That's cool. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of their planes up in the closet just jammed up there. The last one I built was their little biplane. It flew pretty good. I don't know. Didn't glue it that well, so it hit the concrete and just kind of blew apart. That is a huge prop, 1047. That just makes me think of X-class drones. Okay. A lot of the static went away once it got up to voltage here. I'm on 600 now. So it's about what I was running when I was trying to fly on my wings. I bought a, where is it? I got this gem off Amazon. And this is what I used to fly my original wing that I built. My big, huge, it was a 58-inch wing, I think. It was enormous. And it's a loose motor, and I don't know. It was that motor and ESC combo for like $12. It's a crap motor. Actually, it wasn't that bad, but it's at this point it's a better pusher. It can't be a puller because of it needs some spacers or something. I don't know. Either that or it came out. No. I don't know. That's what you get. You get what you pay for. I went through about 15 crappy ESCs. Yeah, they're junk. I mean, temperamental. You can't hit the ground with those things at all. They cook. Doesn't matter if you've. They're just real crap. Like you said, they're crap. I guess the motors. Oh shit. Because that was a dead battery. Did I fly both? I did. There we go. A 1,000 milliamp 25C3S. You'll definitely get a lot more fly time, that's for sure. Depending on how you fly, if you're hard on the throttle or not. That 2200 will last. That was the first battery I bought, was a 2200. What brand was it? Let me find this battery. Gen's Ace. It's not a bad battery. 25C. Yeah. I can fly this. If I'm just cruising, I can get almost 10 minutes out of this battery. All right. No, they're not. You'd think they'd be a lot bigger, but they're not. It's like in comparison to a 4S. I wish I had a scale. you know, the thickness, it's probably about the same weight of a 4S. Yeah, the weight's probably about the same. It's obviously not the same power output, but 4S would probably be crazy on a plane. I got 10 minutes with 1000. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you've watched Lord of the Wings. Actually, I did have one good, successful Delta Wing flight. It was the same. It was the model that the Lord of the Wings made, where I just cut the corners off and then I glued them on the back for tail fins. And then I just cut slits, and I had 4-inch wide flaps, and I did V-tail mixing. I think that's what I did. No, I didn't do V-tail mixing. I just did whatever, Elevon mixing. Elevon. And that thing actually flew pretty sweet. I'm just an unexperienced flyer with planes, so I didn't really understand the mechanics of how to fly. And so I just kept up and down, and you know, finally I just nosed it out. But I couldn't believe it. You know, the first time I threw it and it took off, and you know, flew a few hundred feet. I actually had a few, I'd call them successful flights. They were only like, you know, 30 seconds to a minute, but mostly controlled. Hey, whatever works. I remember it took me a while to figure out, you know, I had everything built and everything, and I couldn't figure out how to program my first controller and how to get everything set up the way you need to. It's a lot of guesswork. That works. Okay, I'm going to do a 5-minute test here. Where's my phone? Just go ahead and plug it in. Yeah, the record quality, not that great on this, but it's better than nothing. And I get to, at least I get to document, you know, document it. It's not a bad idea for planes because there's no additional weight, you know, aside from the FPV stuff, which is just the transmitter and the camera. And you just add the SD card. It totally cancels out, you know, the GoPro. You don't get the quality, but you know, you get done what you need to. It's a 4:3 format, so it's not 16:9, but oh well. That's what I fly anyways, 4:3. I don't fly 16:9. Hey, yeah, it's all in your setup, man. You know, they make some pretty crazy planes out there, so. Turnigy. Eh. You'd be surprised what you can do with, you know, inexpensive stuff. Like, for instance, my live stream last night. This thing sounds like ass. Was it last night? I don't know. These motors are 2 motors combined. All my motors. I gotta make a repair on one of these. I ripped one off. I made a video. I ran into a power box on a power pole, and the motor just sheared the, anyway, so I took the bells off these bases, and I took these bells off, these stators, and I was like, man, I wonder if, because I lost one of the center, the axle, whatever, for the purple bells, but I had a good set of these bells, and one of the wires came off the windings, so I had a bad stator. So I just swapped the bells and the stators. Surprisingly, worked great. Couldn't believe it. So some motors are swappable. Other funny thing is that these stators are 27 kV stators, and these stators are 25 kV. So I've got 27 kV bells on 25 kV stators. How much were how much was what, the motors, or how much was the VTX? The VTX was $27 on Amazon. And I got it in 2 days with their shipping. So, that runs a lot better on 6. Not as hot, still pretty hot, but it's not as hot. It's not scary hot. The stators. So one set of motors was $50. One set of motors was $40. I had bought these motors a while back, and these are actually really nice motors. They're R vectors. Really nice motors. The windings are thick on the stators. These motors are both kind of like budget motors, so you know they're basically all $10 motors, and you can't buy stators alone, and I don't think you can buy bells alone. I looked, and you can't. So I just went ahead and I called them Franken motors, where I put the bells on these, and it worked. It flew great today. I flew it today. I flew it on 3S, and I flew it on 4S, and I flew it in 20-mile-per-hour winds, and it flew great. Flew like a beast. So I was really happy with that, because I don't want to have to do a really, really minute, small repair on that. So I guess really the repair for the stators didn't cost me anything, because I already had the stuff, but technically, you know, it's to get these, you know, it still took $90 worth of motors. So depends on how you look at it. I now have a batch of, you know, crap stators and motors. I'll probably keep all these, obviously, and I might just buy another set. I don't know if you buy good motors like Mr. Steel motors and stuff like that, you can buy new bells and stators and stuff. But these are just inexpensive motors. They're a little bit better, but I don't know. Like these R vectors, I'll probably buy another set of these just so I have the parts and everything for them. I'll still continue to use them, because they're a low profile motor, but the way they're built, like if you can see, I'm running both 22. Yeah, why not? As long as you can get them spinning in reverse, which you just switch 2 wires on your ESC. Yeah, I would do it for sure. Because really, I think, I don't know how you could set it up, but I think you can use them for control. So you can have more throttle on one or the other. I think if people have done that, I'm not sure. I know you can do that on like a hovercraft. They have two forward thrust propellers, and use them for turning. I think you might be able to do something. I think that would be pretty cool because the compensation for, man, the faster those wings go, the more stable they are, I hear. So yeah, if that platform can hold the weight for both of them, do it for sure. Why not? It could be the coolest thing you've ever decided to try. Like these motors, I was like, man, now I gotta buy a set of motors in parallel. Yeah, that would work for sure. But run them run them both to one ESC, or run two ESCs to one. Okay, I see. A push pull. One ESC. Okay. I know there's a couple different ways, but that's probably the best way. That way, the timing's absolutely perfect on both motors. I've never done a dual motor setup like that before. So, connector, put two leads to one lead. Oh yeah, I've got one. I think I got that with the Power Pack F from flight test. I'm pretty positive I got a Y connector. I think, yeah. Anyway, maybe this summer I'll get back into flying planes more. It's just so much easier to fly a quad. Did I ever hit record? I didn't. Crap. All right. Start my timer here. Clock. Countdown has begun. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this DVR. For sure. So I've been flying, I don't know, getting more ballsy flying around, shooting gaps and stuff. Just small gaps. I've been flying under gates and in between. All kinds of stuff. Been shooting gaps through tree branches and stuff like that. So I can't wait to record some of it. I keep losing screws out of my standoffs. I'm not sure what that's about. Yeah, I'm so glad that VTX was pretty simple. I figured it was going to have some weird sequence thing or something to turn on the record thing, some silly trick with the sticks or something, some command while it's disarmed or something. Put a skull button on it. That's perfect. And the way I'm going to have it set up is the buttons are actually going to be hidden a little bit, so I can't really get that with my fingers. So I'm just going to have to use a key or something. Tap that. Luckily, I can see the light flashing though, so I know it's recording. Whew, man, that's hot. Oh boy. Better pack it in. There's nothing worse than being drowsy in class. Okay. 5 minutes. Still recording. So let's see here. If it just looped to another track. Pause or stop. Should be good. We'll see here. Okay. It's not too hot to hold this time. That's good. What grade am I in? That's funny. I haven't been in a grade for 20 years. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, now it's not. Now it's not seeing my SD card. There we go. DCIM. All right. So I think it worked. The time and date doesn't work very well, but right on. 5 minutes. It's not terrible. I'm gonna have to upgrade my camera now because this is only like 600 TVL. Yep, it looped. Nice. On Rubik's Cubes, the trick, a Rubik's Cube, or the game, Rubik's Cubes. The game, Rubik's Cube, I don't know. The trick, I think it's a hard trick. I haven't tried it, and I do not know the process to undergo it. I'm going to look it up right now. Okay, the puzzle. I think they're cool. I've always had Rubik's Cubes. I had, I remember back in the 80s, I had a 3D Rubik's Cube thing. I don't know. I get Rubik's Cubes almost every other year from my mother. Let me try to find a Rubik's Cube. 3D from the 80s. Nah. The one I had was flat. I don't know. So are you any good at Rubik's Cube? Ah, here it is. Rubik's Magic Puzzle Link the Rings from the 80s. Probably can't see that on there. Wow, these videos are annoying. I guess I'm eating up all my data right now. Oh, you have one too, huh? Holy crap, that's a lot, man. I didn't know there were that many different types of Rubik's Cubes. Hey, you gotta buy something. This is all I spend my money on now, besides my family. But you gotta have a hobby, so. And once you get going, it's still kind of an expensive hobby. You gotta buy stuff all the time, like propellers. Go through propellers all the time. You probably know that, flying planes. Probably burn them up. Well, I got done with everything I needed to, so I tested it. Works. I recommend this for DVR and planes. This is actually pretty sweet. I hope people don't hate on the quality of the picture when I post the videos. There's only so many people watching my videos right now anyway, so. But I hope that changes real soon because my freestyle is actually getting pretty good. Yeah, but I remember the only props I started using when I was flying wings and planes was the APC high-speed props because that's basically the only thing that fit my planes. It was carried by the local hobby shop before I started buying all this stuff on Amazon. Where's that? There we go. I gotta go. All right, I'm gonna cut the live stream. So have a good one. See you later. Thanks for tuning in.